from the station working for you. This is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
Pfizer's COVID vaccine could become the first approved for use in the United States. What a U.S. advisory panel just did that could help propel the vaccine toward approval.
They're very talented at what they do, and we all can be victims at some point or another.
We do know the vaccine will be in Indiana soon, and we are learning the scammers will try to trick you. WRTV investigates with how you can outsmart the crooks.
One woman is getting the community involved and finding a way to bring holiday joy to this local nursing home. I'll have the story coming up.
WRTV getting results for a mother who has a son with epilepsy, the barriers she encountered while fighting to get him help, and what we found out. Good evening to you here at 6 o'clock, and thanks for being here with us. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starrentino. First breaking news just minutes ago, a U.S. government advisory panel endorsed Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. That is a huge step toward Americans finally getting vaccinated and protected against the coronavirus. It is important to note the FDA is not required to follow this panel's advice, but it usually does. Once the FDA gives emergency approval, which should happen soon, the U.S. will begin shipping doses of the shot across the country, including Indiana.
The State Department of Health announced this week that the state will receive the first doses of COVID-19 vaccine for healthcare workers next week. But scammers may use that information to try to get your money or your personal information. WRTV Investigates Kara Kenny explains how you can protect yourself.
COVID-19 vaccines are coming soon, and not far behind it, the scams. Experts say scammers are taking advantage of confusion and are sending messages to people via email, text, and social media, offering to get you early access to the vaccine.
These scams can be a really big deal, especially in the case of a public health emergency, because it prevents people from getting the information they actually need.
Kelly Greasy is the Senior Investor Education Coordinator with the Secretary of State's office. Scammers may pose as the health department, insurance company, or your medical provider to offer you the vaccine.
If you are someone who is in a high-risk category, you need to be connecting with the real sources of vaccines and not somebody who's just going to take your money. It should be noted, too, that everything we've heard so far is that these vaccines will be free. So if anyone is trying to charge you for a vaccine, that is a huge red flag.
The Federal Trade Commission also issued a warning this week saying you likely will not need to pay anything out of pocket to get the vaccine. You can't pay to put your name on a list, and you can't pay to get early access to the vaccine. No one from a vaccine distribution site or healthcare payer like a private insurance company will call you asking for your social security number or your credit card or bank account information. Also, beware of providers offering other products, treatments, or medicines to prevent the virus. You should always check with your healthcare provider before paying for or receiving any COVID-19 related treatment. If you do fall victim to a vaccine scam, make sure to report it to the FTC, Better Business Bureau, and the National Elder Fraud Hotline.
Scammers are very talented. I think it's important that people realize that for them, this is their job. It's the scammer's job to get your money, to get your information. A lot of times they are operating in other countries as part of very sophisticated networks.
Scammers want your personal information and your money, and once it's gone, it's almost impossible to get back. Working for you, Kara Kenny, WRTV.
We are answering the key questions concerning a COVID-19 vaccine. We have easy-to-see information so you know what's going on when the vaccine arrives, which should be next week. That's up right now on our website, WRTV.com.
A clearly frustrated Mayor Joe Hogsett opening up his scheduled COVID update on Marion County with a message to the federal government.
We need the federal government to act quickly and decisively to provide assistance to families, to provide assistance to businesses, to first responders, all of those who are bearing the brunt of this extraordinary surge in the number of COVID cases. We see it now as the end of the year rapidly approaches. 8.5 months after it was first passed, we still have no follow-up to the impactful and the effective CARES Act that was passed by Congress back in March.
Mayor Hogshead says the CARES Act funds will run out in 3 weeks. He calls the inaction of the federal government to pass more relief unconscionable. He says CARES Act money was used to help small businesses stay afloat. It allowed families and businesses to implement public health strategies. According to the mayor, the CARES Act also provided rent relief and mortgage relief. With that money running out in less than a month, the mayor says you should write or call your leaders in Congress and demand action for more relief. He also urges you to keep wearing your mask in public, practice social distancing, wash your hands, and practice good hygiene. During the mayor's update, the director of the Marion County Health Department, Dr. Virginia Kane, gave an update on when schools can return to in-person learning in Marion County. Dr. Kane says students in 1st through 12th grades can return to the classroom on January 4th. That's a change to the order from last month that said January 15th. But tonight, Indianapolis Public Schools says it still does not anticipate returning to in-person learning until January 19th. And Warren Township school officials say they will remain virtual until at least January 15th. In Perry Township, students in grades K through 5 can return to the classroom for in-person learning on January 4th. Students in grades 6 through 12 can return to hybrid schedules at that time. No other Marion County districts have released any updated plans yet. We will let you know what all the districts decide to do on the WRTV app.
It's hard to report these high COVID-19 numbers every day. The coronavirus is responsible for the deaths of another 8 dozen Hoosiers. Data from the Indiana Department of Health shows an additional 96 people in the state have died with COVID-19. A total of 6,302 Hoosiers have now died with the coronavirus. An additional 6,604 people in Indiana have tested positive for COVID. More than 404,900 people in the state have been diagnosed with the virus since the pandemic began. The Department of Health confirms that 20.5% of Indiana's ICU beds are available. COVID patients are using more than 43% of the ICU beds. Non-COVID patients are using about 36% of those beds. It is a season of joy, happiness, and celebration, but this year for so many Hoosiers, it's also a time of sadness. Thousands will have a person missing from their holidays this year. Our Alyssa Donovan shows us a Noblesville woman decided that she would take her grief and turn it into something good.
Here at the Riverwalk Village Senior Living Facility, every single room has a window. And one local woman saw this as an opportunity to bring a little holiday joy to all of the residents who are stuck living inside.
Oh, they're little wood, but they're stars. So we can paint those. Oh my gosh, I haven't even seen all this stuff. There's a tree for a room.
Libby Sutherland's dining room is piled high with Christmas decorations.
Oh my gosh, look at this. I love the plaid. Oh, and it's that wonderful, wonderful stuff.
All donated to help her decorate the residents' rooms and outside their windows at Riverwalk Village Nursing Home.
The response was so overwhelming. People were beyond kind and generous.
Sutherland sent out a call to the community on Facebook.
A painting.
Wanting to bring some holiday spirit to the people who live at the home, a place that's near and dear to her heart.
Because my mom had been there.
Just a few months ago, the two had discussed Christmas plans.
We were talking about the Christmas cookies, so we talked about making those and what we were going to make for Christmas dinner.
But none of those traditions will include Mary Sutherland this year. The 88-year-old passed away in October, and her daughter is channeling her grief into something good.
Oh, this is so cute. And I got to tell you, I was feeling really down until I started this. Yay!
A strategy experts say may be one of the best ways to handle loss this holiday season.
One of the ways we honor our grief is by honoring that person with the rituals or doing things that they would have liked us to do.
Which is exactly what Sutherland is doing, honoring her mother by giving back.
And I won't have her, but I can adopt 96 residents at Riverwalk Village and sing with them. And in their smiles, I'll see Mom.
I'm Alyssa Donovan, WRTV.
I really like to see that effort there. LA Landscaping volunteered their time to hang up Christmas lights and to create a winter wonderland outside the Noblesville nursing home. And a date is not yet set, but the family of residents and community members plan to do a night of caroling outside the windows at the home.
An Indianapolis mother reached out to WRTV, desperate to get help for her son who has epilepsy. And according to doctors, he is now having dozens of seizures daily. She was having trouble getting what she describes as the only option to improve her son's condition, approved by insurance. WRTV's Troy Washington talked with the mother and explains how WRTV was able to get results for the family.
If someone was like, cut off your right arm right now and like it'll fix it, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Sarah Hampton's tears said it all. A mother just looking for a way to help her son.
On good days, he's having about 19 focal seizures a day, to where his hand is shaking and he's unable to use that part of his body.
2 years ago, her son Jaden was diagnosed with epilepsy.
We're scared because it's progressed so rapidly within 2 years. It's like, what is another 2 years going to be like? Will he be paralyzed? Will he lose that mobility?
Or worse.
People can die from epilepsy. I'm so afraid that what if he just has one really bad one and that's it, and I lose my son forever?
Doctors have tried prescribing medicine to control the seizures, but he's still having dozens a day.
So hard because like I'm watching my child just deteriorate before my eyes, and I don't know what to do. I don't know where to turn.
When Hampton reached out to WRTV, she was at her wit's end. She was being told responsive neurostimulation, a system that monitors brain waves and has been shown to reduce seizures, might be the only option to help her son.
So this is really the only other option. Like, we have to give him the potential to have a normal life. I just want my son happy and healthy. That's what I ultimately want. And I feel like that's what this surgery will do. It will reduce or take away his seizures.
The problem is, at first, the insurance company wouldn't approve the procedure that cost between $25,000 and $35,000.
I'm a mother of 3 children. Like, I don't have that kind of money. And they just keep saying that it's not medically necessary. It's not medically necessary.
The mother says that was until WRTV got involved, sending emails to the hospital and the insurance company explaining her son's future could depend on having the procedure. On Friday morning, WRTV found out the insurance company will cover the procedure. Working for you, Troy Washington, WRTV.
And Jaden is just 8 years old. The surgery will happen tomorrow. We will keep you updated on his recovery. Many people consider bringing a new pet into the home during the holiday season, but have you heard of the puppy scam? It plays on your emotions to cheat you out of money. What you need to be aware of and how you can protect yourself. Next.
And our dry stretch will come to an end. We'll talk about weekend rain and how it'll impact the timing of your Saturday activities.
Welcome back. The holidays are a time when many people think about adding a pet to their home. But there's a scam that targets your money by playing on your emotions. It's called a puppy scam. This is the 4th of our 12 scams of Christmas. Mallory Sefaste with our Scripps partners in Baltimore shows us what's happening and how you can protect yourself.
This is one of the highest dollar value scams where victims are hit multiple times. It's because they develop an attachment to the pet and continue shelling out money while the seller comes up with excuses. Less than a month after losing her precious Toby, Donna Lippa was hoping to ease the pain with a new puppy.
I recently had to put my baby down. He was 13, and I was looking, it's hard to find the Shih Tzu now with the pandemic and everything. So I was looking on websites, and so I came across this one website called Kiss on Shih Tzus.
She fell in love with Vixen, and the seller got back to her right away.
I sent them $620, and he immediately said that he was going to go and get the paperwork done to have the dog, be registered to fly.
A couple hours later, she received an email.
They need an extra $900 for a climate-controlled crate because of COVID, and it's an animal.
She sent the money. Then a few hours later, another email.
And it said, we need an additional $500 for your dog to come into your state. It was called the city permit. And then I said, that doesn't seem right.
Donna realized it was a scam and told the seller she's done sending him money.
We immediately went back on their website, and their website was down. All my tracking information was gone. I called Venmo. They said, I'm sorry, we can't give you your funds back. There's no funds in this guy's account. He took it right out.
This is a scam that's been reported over 3,000 times to the Better Business Bureau just this year.
COVID, the holidays, isolation, the desire to just have company. People are opening up their homes and their wallets to order dogs online.
This surge in pandemic puppies has inevitably led to more puppy scam victims. The Better Business Bureau is encouraging pet owners to adopt locally, but if your heart is set on a purebred, take the photo of the dog and run it through a search engine to see if it's an original.
The description of the dog, cut, paste, put that in your web browser and see how many other websites it comes up.
Research the business address and contact information and ask a lot of questions. Get documentation. Do what you can to avoid the disappointment.
It's heartbreaking when you've spent this money expecting something to bring joy into your house, and that's one place Santa just doesn't deliver.
The website Kissan Shih Tzus is active, and the seller is still responding to messages. We were told Vixen is available for $500. When I identified myself and asked for an interview, he stopped responding. With your 12 scams of Christmas, I'm Mallory Sofaste.
Well, you pick an adjective to describe today. Spectacular, stunning, unbelievable. Temperatures into the 60s. Will be a little cooler tomorrow, but still very, very mild. Well, beautiful evening, just a few clouds around. What do you do when temperatures hit this warm in December? You go outside to play a little basketball. Say hello to James Smith, a first grader at Center Grove Elementary School. Now, he threw the ball off the backboard, did a 360-degree slam dunk, and then stopped to pose for this picture. Thanks for sharing, James. Temperatures in the 60s today. We've had 10 straight days now without rain or snow. The next opportunity to break that string will be Saturday, and it's likely we'll break the string. That will also be a transition day to much colder air for Sunday. Temperatures will be back into the 30s, but we've got 2 more days where temperatures will be well into the 50s. High pressure sits over West Virginia. That's why James and anyone else that wanted to get outside and enjoy the day could do that so easily because of a nice south wind, lots of sunshine, and very mild temperatures. The next weather system winding up in the Texas Panhandle. There's some snow on the backside of this where the colder area is. We'll be on the mild side of the weather system, meaning 57 tomorrow. The clouds increase. Rain holds off until later tomorrow night. Rain is most likely through the first half of Saturday. Wouldn't be surprised if we hear a rumble of thunder. Then on Sunday, 38 degrees. That's the shocking change. As we ease our way through the day tomorrow, 57 with more clouds coming home. Monument Circle looking beautiful under these conditions for sure. Temperatures, there they are, middle to upper 50s through the day tomorrow. Over the weekend, the rain Saturday, dry but much colder on Sunday. The rain probabilities are greatest through noon Saturday. It will linger a little longer to the east and northeast of Indianapolis Saturday afternoon. There's your hourly forecast. Temperatures late in the day start to fall. The wind will gust over 30 miles per hour through the day on Saturday. Sunday, much different feel. It's back to December weather. Sunday, Monday, even early next week, temperatures continue in the 30s. If you're looking for snow or any possibility of snow, I'll point to Wednesday. There's a chance we could see some light snow or snow showers in the middle of next week. That's the forecast.
We appreciate it, Kevin. Thank you. The Colts have a huge game coming up on Sunday, and it could help determine if Indianapolis gets into the playoffs. The Colts will be on the road in Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. Indianapolis defeated the Houston Texans last week, so they will try to ride that momentum into this week's game. Right now, the Colts are at 8-4 and tied atop the AFC South with Tennessee Titans. The problem here, currently Tennessee holds the tiebreaker over the Colts. So as it stands now, Indianapolis is in the 7th and final playoff spot, but the Raiders are 7-5. 5, just a game behind the Colts, and Vegas is looking to get into the playoff picture with a win. This will be Colts quarterback Philip Rivers' 29th time playing the Raiders. Remember when Rivers played with the Chargers? He faced the Raiders defense twice a year since they are in the same division, so there is a lot of familiarity there.
Having gone against this defense and being in the division a few times, you certainly know they know me and I know them, and so whatever tweaks and things they may do is more in that kind of that chess match from me to them and them to me also, and collectively to our offense. So I think there's a little bit of a combination of that, but I don't see that there's necessarily a real advantage either way, other than just kind of it's allowing you to go 29 times against the same franchise is pretty cool.
Colts visit the Raiders in Las Vegas Sunday. Kickoff is at 4:05 p.m. Indy time. And today the Pacers announced that forward T.J. Warren has plantar fasciitis on his right foot. He is week to week with his injury. That means that it's unclear if Warren will play in the Pacers' regular season opener against the New York Knicks on December 23rd. Last season, Warren averaged 19.8 points per game. We'll be right back with more WRTV News.
Two more days without a heavy coat. That's one way to look at it. You'll need the winter coat again on Sunday. Temperatures tomorrow morning, they'll start warmer than this morning, but they won't end warmer, because what will happen through the day is the clouds will increase as we go into and through the afternoon. That wind will be strong, gusting at times to 20 miles per hour, but plan on 57. Mark and Amanda?
Looks good. Thanks for making WRTV your choice for news.
World News Tonight with David Muir is next. See you back here at 7.